everyone, I'm here to retell the film and tell the careful granny story. Once upon a time, there was a grandmother who lived alone and she was always careful without complaining about anything she was going through. One time he saw his neighbor and asked what his neighbor was doing. At that time, his neighbor was cleaning his house. The grandmother also offered to help her neighbor. His neighbors were also willing to be helped by the grandmother. Because the grandmother often helps her neighbor, the neighbor sometimes gives money or the latter gives the soap made by the neighbor. Before winter arrives, the grandmother intends to look for firewood in the forest to warm her body when winter arrives. While traveling to the forest, the grandmother saw a large hole. The grandmother also approaches the hole and put a pot in the hole. Before grandma took in the sea look around the hole with the intention of looking for the owner of the jar or pot. However, grandmother did not see anyone in that place. Finally, he took the jar or pot with the intention of being used a flower for what difference is home. After being taken, the grandmother was shocked when she opened the lid because the jar or pot contained a lot of gold pieces. He was also happy because he felt he would become rich because he had so many gold pieces. When he went to bring in the jar or pot home, he was not strong enough to lift it. Finally, he looked for ways to make the jar can be carried home, and finally he came up with an idea for the jar to be taken home. He colored several pieces of the trunk and then arrayed them, and on top for the tree trunk he was given a sack to put the jar or pot. Then the grandmother did a rope to be able to pull the cart she had made. After cart made by grandmother was finished, she placed the jar or pot filled with gold onto the cart. On the way home, grandma always imaged the thing she went to do when she got home. At the beginning of the journey home, grandmother imagined that she would give up the gold pieces to her neighbor to make the neighbor happy. An imagination that she bought a big house to live in, enjoy drinking tea in the winter, while sitting a chair without having to do work a queen. However, when he was tired on his way to stop for a moment while checking the jar contained in gold pieces area. After opening the lid of the jar, he was shocked because the gold pieces turned into a lump of silver. But the grandmother still smiled with what she got and did not mind the gold pieces turning into a lump of the silver. Even she came thinking positively because silver would be easier to store because it would not attract people's attention. The grandmother also continued her journey home while thinking about what to do the lamp for silver to good. After a while, the grandmother walked. She felt tired and finally decided to stop for a moment while checking the content of the jar or pot. After the husband opened the lid the jar, he was too shocked because the wood had been filled with silver and now turned into a lump of the stone. However, the grandmother still think positively with what she has got. He continued his journey thinking that he would sell the stone for money so that he would not have to bother hitting it, although he didn't buy a house in to make a small but enjoy drinking tea in the winter. After a while, the grandmother felt tired and decided to stop. When he saw the jar or pot Eleanor, he was surprised because the jar or pot he had brought had turned into a lump of the stone. But the grandmother still think positively because if she get gold, silver, or money, she will be dizzy because of it. For a long time, my grandmother had dreamed of the big stone to be able to open and guard the gates of her house. After grandmother had arrived to the gate of the house, Grandma was surprised because the stone had shrunk bigger. Grandma also planned to ask the stone as a care for her to drink tea, and she did not need to buy a care. When Grandma touched the big rock, suddenly the stone turned into a lump of cotton, and from the lump of cotton appeared 4 feet and a half. This was very creepy, like a wild animal that folk and red eyes. After the grandmother noticed this wild animal, it turned out that the animal was a kitten animal. Grandma also raised the kitten animal and called it adorable. This kitten, which was confused because they had tried to lure the grandmother with gold, silver, stone, and now and had fresh face to the grandmother, was still happy and not afraid. After that, the wild animal could stand in for too long that it turned into a butterfly and fly away from Grandma. Grandma decided to go into the house. When Grandma opened the door, Grandma was surprised to see a stone laying on the floor. But when Grandma looked at the stone turned into a very beautiful one chair. Grandma sat on the chair of intended to make tea. When Grandma stood up for the chair and was about to make a tea, she was surprised to the lump of iron that she has brought and was on the table. As he woke again, he saw that the silver he had brought was beside the killing. The grandmother was so happy that she went to run and run. Grandma also saw a jar or pot on the table after seeing to connect to see jar well the gold pieces and see how to earl. Grandma was very happy. Grandmother did not because greatly, but she discerned into her neighbor. His neighbor were shocked, but his neighbor were also happy. Moral value this video: never do something because it is of good value, but do something with gratitude and sincerity without having see what your reward will get. The grandmother taught us to do everything from a satisfaction, but to turn disappointment into an apart from different perspective. Thanks for watching and bye bye.